All right, so Bitcoin has had a significant development that could potentially change my plans entirely. So in this video, I want to go over my trades, I want to talk about this development, and I want to go over both the bullish and bearish scenarios. So first off, starting with my trades, I have taken more profits out of this long. Right now I have 2.3% about locked in with another 2% unrealized, and I have moved my stop loss up a little bit. I have moved my stop to right below the 15-minute market structure point, which is right here, and it's a bit below that. It is actually in this area of demand down here. Potentially a bad spot to have it. I may actually move it down slightly below this low, but I wanted to lock in a little bit more profits with this. And I mean, it is possible that we come down SFP this MS point, get a bounce, and maintain this market structure. So I may actually move my stop down to here and just set an alert here. And if it looks like we're gonna SFP it, then leave my stop where it is. If it looks like we're closing below the 15-minute point, then I'll probably just close this trade out. And if this trade gets closed out right here, I'll lock in another 0.6%. So that'll be 2.9%. So this is a pretty solid trade so far. And I did take another long trade right here. Now, my thesis for this idea was essentially that, if we didn't SFP this low, after SFPing the 5-minute market structure point, so, we had 5-minute market structure on this way up, we did SFP this low on the 15-minute, and I mean, you can kind of call it 15-minute structure as well, because we had a high, and then 2 candles later we put in the low, so on the 15, it was a valid SFP, and so I considered this level very important. If we lost this level, we were probably going to revisit this low. And when we came back down to, test this level, we SFP'd it again on the 15. So I took a bit of a risky position here. I only risked 0.5% on this trade, and it ended up working out. So far, I have 0.9% locked in for this. Yeah, basically, I just wanted to enter another long because I didn't get a chance to enter any longs off of the ideas from yesterday's video. None of them got hit. If this trade got stopped out, I probably would have just closed, a majority of my other long to, cover those losses and lock in a bit more profits anyway. So I was comfortable taking that risk. And so far with this one, I have 0.9% locked in, and I will probably move my stop loss. Actually, I'm probably going to leave my stop loss where it's at because my entry is right below this market structure point. And yeah, there's a chance that we SFP it and just continue on with the structure. So I think I'll leave my stop loss where it is. I don't need to lock in another 0.1%. It doesn't have to be exactly a 1% winner. It's all good. So that is the updates with my trades. Now let's talk about this significant development because, like I said in the beginning of this video, this could potentially change a lot of things. This could change the course of what Bitcoin is going to do. And, well, the significant development that has happened is we have wicked the market structure point, this very key level that I was paying attention to for a long time. And if I go to yesterday's video, what did I say about this level? Now, my short ideas are still pretty much the same as they were yesterday. I would be watching this high because it is a significant market structure point, and, an SFP of it would be significant. So, it's a significant market structure point, and a SFP of it would be significant. Yep, that sounds about right. And what has happened on every single time frame up to the daily, we have SFP'd it. We wicked the high, we closed well below it, and this, like I said, potentially changes a lot of things because following market structure, now that we SFP'd this guy, if we're not able to now close above this wick, then there's a good chance that we make our way down to this low, the low that created the move up to SFP that high. And at that point, if we make our way down to this low and we're not able to, essentially hold it or, find some sort of bullish development down here, I mean, things could get pretty bearish from this. This could potentially be the start of a very large retracement because, like I said, this area down here is essentially the bull's last hope. I think if we're not able to continue market structure here and break back into the previous range, then a further retracement down is likely. So what would I want to see to avoid this bearishness? Well, I think we would need to close above this wick now. That would obviously reverse the bearishness of that SFP if we're able to get up here and close on some significant time frames. Probably I'd be looking at the 4-hour, and at that point then we can continue with my bullish idea of claiming this liquidity, potentially filling this inefficiency, and maybe even revisiting the highs of the previous range. And so I think what happens over the next day or so is going to be very important, unless we just end up arranging here for a couple days, which, maybe that's possible. But yeah, I think that there is a few things that could happen that could reinforce my bearishness here. I think if we come back up to SFP this high again, stopping out the early shorters, maybe even beginning some sort of a Wyckoff here, where maybe we then come down to break structure, put in a lower high for the tap 3. I think wicking this high again would not be good news for the bulls, and for that reason, I do have an alert set up there, and I am potentially looking to short an SFP that high. And I also think that if we begin to break market structure bearishly after SFPing that significant level, then there's a good chance that we begin a larger retracement here. Maybe just back to this low. Potentially we can SFP it again and, maybe kind of hold on to this range. But, I think at this point, losing this low, the low of this little range that we formed, would probably bring us down to this 15-minute market structure point. And if we lose that, then we're probably coming down to this low. And we can check some higher time frame market structure. So I would maybe call this 1-hour market structure. It's, only one candle though, so I don't really like that, but I guess it is 45-minute structure here. So, technically following the 45-minute structure, I guess we could lose this local range and still maybe put in a higher low, maybe into this area of demand in here. But if we start to lose this low, I think I would begin to lose more hope of us coming up to close above this level. At that point, yeah, sure, we could still put in a higher low somewhere and then get a move up, but with this being such a significant wick, I think that, it would not be a good sign to start losing even low time frame market structure here. So I may start looking for shorts if we begin closing down below this range now. I may be watching for a retracement and some sort of sign, confirmations, whatever, to get in on a retracement. That is, one idea for a short. Obviously now an SFP of this high is also another idea for a short. And maybe if you want to be safe, you can wait for this guy to break and hopefully we get a good retracement. And you can begin looking for a short there. Even if we don't get a good retracement here, maybe there's just a very specific level where you can get a tight risk reward, or a tight stop loss for a good risk reward, I should say. And, maybe you can start looking for shorts from there. That is also something I'd be paying attention to. But, at this point, I think after wicking that market structure point, I am much more willing to entertain the idea of shorts. And very simply, the bullish case scenario is that we just come up here, close above this high now on some high time frames. I would probably say, 4-hour would be ideal. Maybe you can start looking for 2-hour closes if they align. That would be great, which right now the 2 and the 4-hour will close at the same time in about an hour and a half. So it would be nice if we can get up there soon and close above there. I would like to maintain some bullishness here, but I'm very aware of the fact that this could be, the first sign of a much larger dip coming, just given the fact that, on the more macro, we have a lot of reason to come to the downside. We have inefficiencies below us. We have liquidity below us. We have this massive range that we've been trading in, which we've been hugging the top end of, and we haven't really revisited the low much. We just put in this low, basically hit this low once, and then from there, got to move up to the high. So I think there is definitely a decent possibility of us getting a deeper retracement here, and that is something I'm going to keep in mind. So, yeah, I'm much more willing to entertain the idea of shorts now. So that's essentially the meat and potatoes of my plan. That's, the bulk of it. I don't have too much in specific levels I'm watching now. I wouldn't really be paying attention too much to these demand levels below. Maybe I can look for some demand levels that follow this 15-minute market structure. Something that, could give us a higher low if we get a further retracement here, but I still wouldn't like if we lost this range. So I'm not too keen on longing anything down here, and there's really not too much to look at anyway. Maybe there's something on a lower time frame. This kind of was tagged already, but maybe you can pay attention to that little block. I don't really like it though. Let's check the 5-minute. Yeah, there's not too much that I would pay attention to, honestly. I think if we start losing this local range, then, things could start looking more bearish. And, for levels to the upside, if we wick this high and we get a really big wick, we take out some of this liquidity over here, and then we fall back down and start closing back down below this high. We start SFPing it, and we also grab this liquidity over here, then that would, be a little bit more bearish, I think, because then there wouldn't be much reason to come higher. I don't think this fair value gap up here is a good enough reason to think that we have to come higher. So, yeah, SFPing this, taking out some of that liquidity, and then dipping back down before we can close high time frame candles. I think that would add a little bit extra bearishness to that idea. But looking at market cipher right now, I'm not seeing, too many things that stand out as bearish to me. The daily is still looking relatively decent. The money flow just crossed into the green. Momentum is still low, so it has room to come up. VWAP is not really looking weak right now. Looking at the 4-hour, we don't have any bearish divs on this move, on this slightly higher high. Momentum got a very large move to the upside. Money flows may be looking a little weak here. We can check the lower time frames and see if they confirm that, but so far it has crossed into the green. The 3 hours turning back to the upside. We just got a green dot here. Money flow potentially looking to turn back around. It started retracing a little bit and now is maybe going to get another move to the upside. 2-hour money flow is not looking too bad. But, we do definitely have potential to get some bearish divs if we take out this high again. So that is something I'd be paying attention to. So that about does it for this video. Those are my plans. I will be paying attention to the charts carefully over the next day or so, seeing how things develop here, because I think this is a very critical moment. So, thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I will see you all in the next video.